Welcome back everybody to the channel. Just want to thank everybody that's been watching, liking, and subscribing and commenting on my videos and my content. I appreciate all the love that I do get. I'm just out here again wanting to bring you another tutorial video. I'm going to show you how to cast the Baitcaster reel. I taught you how to line your spool on there and get started. So now we're going to teach you how to cast it out there and slang that rod out there so you can start catching some biggins. All right, so here we go. I got my Baitcaster, got my rod, and we can get into those kind of specific later, but just want to show you. Now, the main thing that you really need to know about the Baitcaster, there are a couple more parts to adjust than there is on a spinning reel. First, I'm gonna see if I can show you because all my writing is gone on there, so I don't know how well you can see it. But right now you got the brake system right here, and now on here it's supposed to say max and minimum or maximum, or depending on, I guess, if it's right hand retrieve, and it may switch on there depending on the rod or the reel that you get. And then you have also, see if I can get that out of the way, the tension knob right here. I don't know how well y'all can see it. I'm trying my best here with the little bit of lighting I got from outside. That's a tension knob and your drag star on there. And these things you want to tinker with or adjust depending on the size of the lure, your line, how far you're casting, and controlling your casting. Because with the Baitcaster, the one thing a lot of people don't want to do is what we call backlash or bird's nest, when all this in here gets tangled up because the spool or the line ran out of the spool too fast and got tangled up. And I will show you how to get out of that as well. But first, like I said, so with the brake system, a lot of them call your magnetic brakes, or I can't think of the other term for it, but most common one are magnetic brakes. So what you see is as you adjust it, you hear, it dialing in. So I got it on minimum right now. So it's like basically no brakes. So my line will fly out of there once I start casting. And then if you turn up max, and like I said, it controls the speed of the spool when casting. Now, as a beginner, what I would recommend is turning the brakes all the way up to prevent that backlash. And so that'll help you kind of get comfortable casting it, because also when it comes to casting, the best way to really learn, because you're always going to have your thumb here on the spool, and you need your thumb to control the speed as well, and also help you stop your lure and on the drop of a dime, or if it's going towards a tree, you can stop it from actually landing in that tree, or you want it in a certain spot, you can stop it. So thumb control is also important. Your tension knob almost works like the brakes. It controls how loose the knob or the spool is on your Baitcaster. So like I said, all this right here is all control, because this thing will fly out of here if you let it and cause bird nest or backlash. So what I'm going to do, because I got a 3/8 ounce tungsten jig on here, so like I said, I got my brakes turned all the way up. Now the tension knob, so when you hit your release, the tension knob, like I said, still lets it go. If you have it turned all the way up, your lure will not drop. So you want to take your tension knob and just adjust it to the point where it slowly starts to just drop and roll off the spool. And then once it hits the water, or in my case, I hit the little bush right there, so I'm gonna try to hit the water, it should stop. So once it stops, you're good to cast. So of course, with any cast, you got overhand and sidearm, and then underhand for bait casting, what we call pitching. Like I said, we can get into all that. And then there's also trying to learn how to skip cast with this, which I'll probably do in another tutorial, because to me that's a little more intermediate and advanced kind of casting. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cast it out. Brakes all the way up, tension knob just about right, and that's about as far as I got. Like I said, no backlash, nothing. My lure is out there. I can't say how far, maybe 30 feet, 40. I'm not good at telling distance, to be honest with you, so I'm just guess this whole time. And then one more thing that I do recommend when you're getting a Baitcaster, if you are right-handed, please get a left-hand retrieve Baitcaster. Do not get a right hand retrieve, because then you're going to cast. If you're casting with your right hand and you have a right hand retrieve reel, then what you're going to wind up doing is switching hands to get to that right hand retrieve. So get you left hand, so that way, or left hand retrieve, so that way you can cast with your right hand and retrieve with the left. Or if you're left-handed, The same thing, if you cast with your left hand, then you want to right hand retrieve Baitcaster, so that way you don't have to always worry about switching hands. But that's totally up to preference, how you like. I've seen plenty of guys, they're right-handed, they still get a right hand retrieve Baitcaster, so they switch hands. They're okay with that, they're comfortable. Me, I've really just enjoyed being able not to switch my hands when casting. And so now back to the brake system and everything. So like I said, I have my brake turned all the way up, so I only got so far. So, trying to avoid backlash, I can only cast so far. But if you want to get distance, then what you would have to do is dial down the brakes, so that way they can, spool off a lot faster. But now you want to control it with your thumb. So I'm gonna cast again, and this time I got a little bit further than where I was before. But now I don't know if you notice my line, how it was starting to come off the spool a little bit. You can see it rise up a little bit. That's what we try to avoid, is that backlash, and all that can be avoided with your thumb just resting very gently over top of the line. So if you're kind of just on it and very gently, you can kind of keep that line from jumping off of it and causing backlash. All right, so let me just get my jig back. All right, one moment here, get my jig back. I gotta answer this call. All right, so that's one phone call I can't miss, but I'm back and I don't even remember where I left off. So like I said, we can go into the backlash or trying to prevent that. So I'm gonna turn my brake down one more time, and hopefully you can see the line start coming off the spool. So I'm gonna try my best to see if I can get it in view. So hopefully you've seen the line kind of jumping off there a little bit. Like I said, if you allow that to happen too fast or it comes off, it'll start getting tangled up, and then you'll get backlash. And to simply kind of prevent that from happening, or to even undo it, you just find the loops in your line and you just start to casually pull the main line and see if it'll come out of the loops until everything is tightened up and straight again. So let me just get everything back in here. I ain't really expecting to catch no fish during this. All right, so hopefully I can cast this and I can show you how your thumb can control that as well. So like I said, I still got my brakes kind of dialed down a little bit, so it's going to spool a little bit faster, but I'm gonna keep my thumb over the line to keep it controlled. So that, like I said, I'm getting more cast distance and I'm not getting backlash. I kept my thumb over the line, kept it from out spooling itself and getting tangled up. But basically, that's all you really need to know when casting your Baitcaster is, checking your brake settings, checking your tension knob, and controlling the spool with your thumb, so that way you don't have to sacrifice cast distance, and make sure that you're getting your bait out there as far as you can or wherever you need it to, depending on the area of the body of water you're fishing in.